levels of...
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so this is a medieval
Yes,
we're playing?
this is a medieval.
Oh yeah, this is CT, my Mike Curley.
This is Frank Curley. Sorry, new setup, so we're all just kind of discombobulated. So this is made by Indefatigable. I practiced that this morning.
It's a tough name.
So this is one of the many old school style first person shooters that have come out in the last like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, this time Frank is playing, so
yeah, so we get to blow stuff up. So after all the intricate strategy and stats and all that, here we have was basically a rocket launcher only shoots planets. Welcome to a medieval.
Let's roll.
All right, so first we're going to actually nuke all the saves.
All of them. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, trust me, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. All right, so see, I can level select anytime. So.
Okay.
All right, so obviously we're going to do the main campaign. There's our hero.
He looks fun.
Yep.
And they called it the Maw. Wait, wrong game.
You're not entirely wrong.
Telling the same story, just a different style. Yeah, it definitely does have the old school Doom, Quake, Hexen vibe to it.
Yeah. And here we are, without further elaboration. Here we are in the game.
Like,
I love this scenery.
yeah, it's nice. It's an old school.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that Aztec theme that games loved back in the 90s. And, yeah. By the way, that's a sprite.
Really?
There's a weapon, yeah. They came up with this whole technology where it accurately reflects the lighting in the actual area.
Huh.
Yeah, it's one.
It looks like a 3D model to me.
Yeah, but you look closely. That's leaving the screen before it swings.
Huh.
And yeah, so the textures kind of use a mix of modern lighting and old, like more pixelated
Textures.
textures, and that kind of gives it the striking look that it has.
It looks like an upscaled or HD version of a game that came out in the 90s.
Yeah. So, obviously, a game like this that has many inspirations from the 90s. One of the main ones is Heretic, where you have medieval-style weapons, but this kind of difficulty selection, like there is normal.
Oh, okay.
Easy, actually.
Huh.
Are all, part. That is specific. I think that's specifically started in Quake.
Okay, so we're jumping right into hard mode.
Yep. Because it's not that much harder, honestly, and there are more dudes to kill.
Oh, we want that.
Yep.
Their falling damage is the question.
Nope. No drowning damage either, actually.
No electric weapons that'll...
There is one, but it doesn't actually hurt you. So there's one thing they didn't take from Quake.
Evil has overrun our sacred lands. Free them.
So a lot of the background story is kind of filled in from messages on the wall.
Yeah, like Metroid Prime.
Yeah. So there is some read the manual information. We are the champion, who was once cursed as a heretic, but then was sent to the Black Labyrinth to earn this axe and become the champion of the gods.
That sounds like prequel material.
Actually, yes, they have a prequel expansion coming out, quote-unquote, soon, TM. Okay, so, we only have one world available to us at the moment. There are a grand total of 7.
Alright.
And each of them have 3 levels and a boss.
Okay.
Alright.
Axe works, good to know.
So, one thing we can definitely talk about is, like, what the background. So, a lot of the levels don't really resemble real places you would actually live in. Yeah, it's very much that Doom/Quake style labyrinthine.
Yeah, they're designed as levels, not for verisimilitude.
But we for fun, we can try to guess, like, what exactly they're trying to say. But here's something thematic right away. This church, this temple,
built into the rock.
Yeah, fanaticism is you'll see is a pretty big theme in this game. So
not going into the church.
Oh well, what's an FPS without secrets?
Ooh.
And this we're going to demonstrate later because we have 12 shots, and we're not going to get much more ammo for it until it's properly introduced.
So it's like a sword beams kind of thing?
Yep. And this thing hits like a truck.
Good for a start.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Very like Skyrim, kind of just hit the button until...
Yeah. And for rapid fire, you might as well just hold down the button.
What's that say up there?
Oh, that's actually tutorial stuff. So for the first level or so, press tab. We're assuming that's not, diegetic.
Well, you never know.
What's this tab mean? And this one actually pulls the enemy towards you if they're within a certain distance. So here's our first ranged weapon. It wouldn't be unfair to call it the boring one, but it does have its use. As we'll see, each weapon has a use. Like there's no like pistol, really, that
so
you're just gonna throw out.
Kind of like the newer Doom game, where I've heard it's like each weapon has a like you said, a specific use.
Yeah, like Doom Eternal doesn't even have a pistol.
Right, they just start you off with a shotgun, right?
Yep. And you might as well, honestly, because no one uses the pistol. We don't actually need that help. Whee!
Shot out of the water.
Okay. So I guess we can call this an aqueduct. So
it looks like or we're under the church, right?
Yeah. So but this
thing homes.
Yeah. So this is actually very good for flying enemies.
Yeah. Little magic missile. Yeah, it doesn't have a whole ton of oomph to it, though.
Yeah, that's why it's not a bad weapon. It's just
situational.
Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of wasting ammo. I could easily just dodge an axe.
So the mana for this is different than the mana for the sword.
Right.
Okay, it's green. That's blue.
Yeah. With two of the mana power up two of the weapons.
Okay.
And then you have.
Dude, the thing does hit.
Yeah. I just love the crunch this thing has.
It is very crunchy.
Here, Frank, why don't you dodge? Okay, and this... So you'll notice the meter on the bottom left there, under the health.
Yeah.
This is for the supercharged mode.
I feel like that is not normally how an axe is wielded.
Oh, the best part? You do this underwater, you'll actually propel yourself backwards.
I love it.
So it does a super mode. Now, when this game was first released, and when I say in early access, where you only had a couple of the episodes available, that was activated the second you press fire once it's full. A lot of people didn't like it. The developer...
because you might want to save it for something.
Yeah, exactly. The developer defends that that's how it's supposed to be played, but not a lot of people liked it.
Yeah, kind of reminds me how the first God of War, like you go into rage mode and you stay in rage mode until it's completely done.
Well, that guy took a couple hits.
Yeah,
I'm kind of amazed by that. All right, come and get me.
Boom, headshot.
Now, people have called this medieval fantasy. But as we go through this, I'm not sure that's really the proper word for it. And again, we'll see.
I mean, you medieval weapons, very very fantasy.
Yeah,
I see it.
But I would argue this is in some ways more space fantasy because if you use the assets in this game, you probably get a good starting point for making a He-Man game.
Yeah, but He-Man was also kind of like... It was more aesthetically a heroic barbarian fantasy thing. I know, yeah, it did have, like, space stuff, but it was still about a guy with a sword and a loincloth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand you could take the assets from this and make a sci-fi game, but everything I'm seeing now is magic and swords.
Well, again, you'll see a bit more of the overarching style as we go on. Now, one thing I've noticed, all of the armor pieces fall down, but you don't really see the bodies so much.
Yeah, like animated armor.
Well, that's kind of the thing. I mean, you do see blood, so it might be implication that the weapons are just obliterating them, or maybe the corruption has hit so deep that they might as well be walking armor. Not a whole lot is explained in this game.
Yeah, you didn't get a whole ton of exposition about just who you're fighting.
Yeah. But again, fanaticism, from the background is a big theme in this game. Like these you're in the land of the moon priests, basically. Yep. Not to make excuses, but I suck at this game. I have to do commentary.
Yeah, you do better than I would. I don't play a whole ton of first-person shooters, and when I do, it's with a controller.
Yeah. I've played through this level.
Yeah, we're in the first level, so it's like telling you the really obvious shit.
Okay.
I notice all the enemies have some kind of audio cue.
Yeah. Which is also another big thing, especially for Doom. You walk in the room and you are immediately alerted to whatever the hell's in there.
Yeah, because the game has to tell you, and especially when you have some enemies that use hit scan, like you need some way to know what's around you.
One game that was really rough about that was Blood, because they basically shoot you instantly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of debatable whether or not that was the intended experience.
I remember reading, I think the Uncharted games, it's set so that the first shot from any enemy always misses, because that's kind of like your warning shot.
Yeah. And it's pretty in keeping with the cinematic feel they want for the game. So when you get a secret, but I kind of have to work my way back.
Sure, yeah. You had to jump for the secret, so... And now you're lost.
It's kind of embarrassing considering how many times I've played this game.
I mean, I'm playing through Valkyrie Profile again, and I need a guide for some stuff. Just because I've forgotten things. Plus, I want to, always want to get the A ending, and that game's very obtuse about how you get it.
Well, I remember, back when I played Chrono Cross.
Yeah, if you want to talk about confusing and obtuse.
Yeah. And just to get some of the cooler characters, you have to make some really awful decisions early on. I mean, not awful decisions with any real consequence, but it's kind of like, why?
You're kind of a jerk sometimes. Yeah,
okay,
there is...
So here we get the proper introduction, so bring it on!
Yeah, there is certain elements of that in the Star Ocean games where getting some of the characters precludes getting others, so you might have to, decline to help somebody to pick up a particular character and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's stupid video game logic, because why the hell would the character do that?
Well, in some cases, it's kind of like you go down this path, so you won't mate up with them there, or in at least a couple cases, it's because you recruit a character, and the character you would have recruited later hates him.
Yeah.
So that makes some sense, but they actually just announced Nintendo announced a remake of the second Star Ocean. Not the first, to my knowledge, hasn't gotten a remake. I might have to check that.
Well, because of Phantasy Star 1 was on, I think it's the Master System, the one that was right before the Genesis.
Yeah.
That's rarely ported.
Yeah, I've started playing Phantasy Star 4, and then Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom came out. Oh jeez, I have since finished that pretty thoroughly. I did not complete it because F the other 800 Koroks. Seriously?
To be honest, I didn't bother with it. I used to be like obsessed with 100% completion, but like games like that broke. See, I nearly missed with that.
Yeah. But where was I? Yeah, Star Ocean. I played the PSP versions of the two of them, and the PSP version of the first game, the original first game was an SNES game. So the PSP version is basically a remake in the sequel skin. Because the sequel was made for PlayStation, and it basically just uses the engine, same graphics, same almost everything. So, but the remake of the second story, that's being made in like full-on HD 2D, like Octopath and Triangle Strategy. Pop there.
It was one thing that HD graphics can't really get away with, just like goofy shit like that.
Oh, sure they can. Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess Skyrim kind of got away with it. No, it's not a secret. Take me back off. Thank you. Alright. So, and this signifies an exit, so here we go.
And the level?
Yep.
That was quick.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing this whole episode in one go because it is fairly short. The later episodes, probably not so much. But these are pretty
yeah, get to the boss fight.
Yeah. Bastion of the Blue Moon.
They like beer here?
But yeah, heavy drinkers. I mean, why else do you think they think coming after me is a good idea after
Yeah, that's fair.
slaughtering their whole congregation downstairs? Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no. Anyway.
But yeah, as I mentioned, I don't know. I just currently on I guess a retro kick. I mean, I could go back to finish Phantasy Star 4, but part of the reason I haven't is like it's a Genesis game. And what that means it lacks certain quality of life things.
It is so damn obtuse.
None of the spells have a name that indicates what it is.
Yeah, like
it's like even like the health, the healing spell is like RES, and like
the
everything.
restoration I'm fine, but like so Phantasy Star 2, the claws of the one lady, they're called bars.
Huh. Yeah, that's just a bad translation. I will say nothing appears to be like badly translated. It's just that like none of the spells or items have descriptions on them. Well, the items you can get descriptions, but the spells you don't. So like when I was playing it, I had to have like a bunch of wiki pages open so I could look up what everything I had does.
Yeah.
And it just gets it's thankfully it's full turn based, so I'm not in any kind of rush. But it does kind of get tiring after a while to every single turn be checking what new stuff does.
Yeah, I would argue that a quest marker is far less immersion breaking than looking at the wiki, all the time.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It doesn't have a map, but it does kind of like one thing it does have that I like is there's an option in the menu labeled Talk. And when you pick that, the characters will have a short conversation reminding you of where you're supposed to go.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And for the most part, the map is laid out that, like, your next story beat is, like, just a little further in the direction you were already going.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So this is, also, yeah, we have some, world information here. The Voltride, yes. I know this guy. Truly. So there's
the electric thing.
You probably notice a message called that says overkill every now and again.
Yeah.
So for most weapons, that's pointless. It's for scoring in this big like arcade mode that I never bother with. But We do overkill on this, and just like, well, I'll demonstrate.
Oh, chain lightning.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's great. You could be like a little bit sneaky with it and clear out like a whole room, or take out a big enemy. When an enemy's big enough, it won't go to the next person, but you'll still either do a lot of damage to them or kill them outright. So it requires a little bit of thought and strategy to really get the most of it.
Yeah, ideally, ideally every game would have like, you do have to put some thought. It's not just a mindless blasting fest.
Yeah, and Doom was like that. You use rockets in the right place.
Yeah, not blow yourself up.
Yeah. Also, I do love stopping the slash in there. It's a waste of ammo, but like,
it's cool. Back, you gotta get back to the stairs. Yeah, I'll probably get back to Phantasy Star 4 at some point. I have a vague idea of where I was going next. But yeah, it's actually the presentation, other than the the item names and stuff like that, is pretty good. And I do like there's one touch, like you get a vehicle, and if you get into combat in that vehicle, you're fighting from inside the vehicle. So you have, instead of your party getting out to fight, you have like cannons and stuff.
Oh, nice.
It also seems to have, I'm guessing like it's sort of like a D&D roots kind of thing where you have certain abilities, like tech stuff, that you have limited uses that you come back when you go to rest, as opposed to just like magic points. I mean, you have magic points too, but you do have like certain stronger abilities that you do have to pick and choose when you use them.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I wouldn't mind an HD 2D remake of that, maybe.
Yep.
But,
yeah, they're working on one for Dragon Quest 3, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I like the HD 2D thing. It's a really good aesthetic. I really like the old school like SNES RPGs. Octopath Traveler is one of my favorite games the last 5 or 6 years. I have not played the second one yet. I intend to as soon as I get it. Right now I am, current game is Valkyrie Profile, which I love breaking that game. There are so many ways. Well, actually, no, it's just not a ton of ways to do it. It's just really easy to do. There are whole stretches of the game where every single encounter, with the exception of bosses, will be solved with a single cast of lightning bolt.
Well, I've been playing a bit of Dragon Quest 7, and I discovered this one ability that is utterly broken. It's this big fire-breathing attack that doesn't cost any MP, and it's like the hardest hitting thing I have. And it hits everyone. So it trivializes like so many encounters. I'm looking for...
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing with... Basically, at various points in Valkyrie Profile, you just get really strong staffs, and you can make one about halfway through that not only is really powerful, but lets you spam like the Great Magic super move without it breaking. And once you can do that, you kind of have no excuse for losing any battle in which you get the first shot.
Ah, here we go.
What is that?
This launches planets.
Okay. Orange mana.
Yep. Yeah, this is the only weapon that uses that.
They hitting each other?
They can do that.
Probably the old Doom thing where, like, you
factionize
them.
Well, I don't think that happens in this game, but yeah, they can hit each other. Yep, when they're dense enough. Not even gonna say if, it's when. I mean, this isn't exactly an AI-heavy, game.
Oh, it looked to me like he just took a swing at him without consideration of you at all.
Well, it was probably the projectile guy, and he has distance, and probably just got screwed up by where I was standing. and wondering where the hell I was going. But I'm here.
Just like I'm kind of wondering, where are you? Where are you going?
So,
Raise the sun. Is that a dig at? Is that Dark Souls or?
Yep. So we have the Temple of the Moon, we Temple of the Sun, and they hate each other.
That tracks.
But spoiler alert, we're going to go after both of them.
Too far now.
There.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I didn't even see those guys. That's what I love this damn thing.
It's got some kick to it.
Oh, you got me.
The Valkyrie Profile is one of those series I wish they made more games of it. They kind of there was the latest. They made a phone game because, of course, they did. The latest entry is kind of a reboot where it doesn't keep any of the same characters except like Odin and the Valkyrie, and it's more of a we have Devil May Cry at home. Which, I mean, I enjoyed it. It is much more of an action game. Its gimmick is you can summon the Einherjar, the soldiers, to fight alongside you. And they affect your weapon. They give you... Each of them has a specific element they have an affinity for. And while they're out, whichever one you summoned most recently, it gives your weapon that element. And that factors into, enemies are weak against certain elements. Yeah. And it's fun. And they, they're all good at different things. There's some environmental puzzle solving for them, too. Where, like, the lightning guy, he's the heavy swordsman, so he knocks down barriers. The ice guy can give you platforms to jump to. It was alright. It was clearly a game that did not have a huge budget. But I enjoyed it. There's a running gag kind of within the series that the first game was about Lenneth. There's 3 Valkyries, Lenneth, Silmeria, and Hrist. Only one of them is actually named after actual Norse mythology. And the first game was Valkyrie Profile Lenneth. Second game was Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria. Third game is not about Hrist. And she shows up in a bonus dungeon, and her call-outs, her lines, are griping that she doesn't have a leading role yet. Yeah, each of the games has a bonus dungeon that, it's the hardest challenge, and you get all your characters and stuff. But it also does things like the second game will have skits where it recreates, story cutscenes, but everybody's played by hamsters.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Seder play version of the...
Yeah, exactly. And then you fight the hamsters. And the hamsters are apparently even stronger than the normal bonus bosses. Yeah, 2 is a much more traditionally structured RPG, where it's just a straight linear story that you're playing through. Whereas 1 is much more like, okay, here's a bunch of, kind of depressing vignettes, because literally everyone in your party has to die first to get there. And with the kind of background story of who the Valkyrie really is and used to be. Spoilers for a, I think 26-year-old game now.
So, was that PS2?
PS1. No. Valkyrie Profile 1 was PlayStation 1 and PSP. Yeah, there's also weird thing where the PSP version is an update, but also a downgrade from the American version. Because the American version made some quality of life upgrades. Like, in the original Japanese, you could only take off equipment and stuff from people in your party, for instance. The original American version made it so you can, swap the equipment for everybody at once. But the PSP version was based on the original Japanese version, so it doesn't have that. I mean, it's still probably the best and only available way because the original is really expensive and hard to find.
Yeah, I'm finding that. Like, I am curious about the Breath of Fire series, but 3 and 4 are the most popular of the series. Yeah, good luck finding one at a reasonable price. And yeah, emulation can be such a pain.
So are we on the 3rd level already?
Yep. Again, this first episode's kind of short. Especially the forges. That place is pretty complex.
So what kind of boss is it, or is it just like a big thing?
Well, you'll see. Yeah, let's not.
So do you keep your weapons and stuff between levels?
Nope. So yeah, classic episode style.
Back to the axe.
Yep. That's good. But especially the Sun Temple.
What did that say?
Actually, yeah, we should actually sit and read this.
Our leader, guardian of the moon, he now dreams of death and pain.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you see a lot of gung ho, ready to go messages, but occasionally it slips out out in the open like that. Why are you still there? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I do like that. You can parry the blast.
Sadly, it doesn't do it with many projectiles, which I was a little disappointed.
Maybe the idea is they're using a similar sword.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll occasionally see the weapons you have be used against you.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they're lying around here. What was that?
Yeah, it's just stuff. So, and as per usual, the first episode won't show you every weapon.
Yeah. This is basically the plasma.
Yeah. Actually, its super mode is basically this rapid fire blue thing, so pretty much. Oh.
I think the last time I played a keyboard and mouse FPS might have been like the Jedi Outcast games. I don't know. I'm too used to a controller. I mean, in theory, we could have played Fell Seal with the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, but it's turn based, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The input, like here, it's expecting you to turn very fast. Like, I cannot imagine someone playing through Doom Eternal with a controller.
Because it's ported to all the consoles.
It is, but the game is completely nuts. Like it expects. It's some of the most frantic is one of the most frantic shooters I've ever played.
Well, it is Doom.
Yeah, but even the original Dooms weren't quite like that. Moonlight Sun Beyond. I think I'm the only one. Wins the sword fight without a sword.
So I'd say this planet only has 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm a little unsure if they're literal planets or just it generates something of that mass in a concentrated area.
Each one you fire looks different, though.
Yep. Bear that in mind.
So that might be the implication. You are grabbing planets from somewhere.
Yeah.
Although if it was an actual planet, I feel like it would have more impact than that.
It would be pretty metal if you grabbed your planet. Just like, oh, wee! A hidden game over.
Yeah, you pull the thing up, you just see yourself.
The place just explodes.
Like I haven't looked, but I haven't seen any like land masses on them. Oh, there we go. That looks like the moon.
Yep. Let's see. Can we?
Can we find Earth?
Yes. But anyway.
Now, I'm guessing that's just cosmetic. It doesn't like have a different
No.
effect based on which planet you pull up.
Nope.
Because that would be funny if like you pull up Jupiter and that just like wipes out everything in the room.
Yeah. You just click on it, it's just, you're dead. From what? Because you launched Jupiter, numbnuts. Yeah, that design kind of reminds me of Legacy of Kain a bit.
Yeah, the winged vampires in the Hilden.
Yeah.
That's another series. I wish they had been more, but I'm also really satisfied with the ending.
Yeah, I think it ended on a very fitting note.
For the purpose of this, we're ignoring the Nosgoth looter shooter.
What?
Yeah, they made a... it was originally going to be a multiplayer mode for a new single-player game, but then they canceled the single-player game, it was going to be called Nosgoth. It was going to be like a team-based shooter, I guess, set between... it's set, like... I think after Kain took over, but before Soul Reaver. And yeah, it went into closed beta and never got out of closed beta.
See,
Or maybe open beta. But yeah, it was not... It didn't get anywhere.
Yeah. When a game's story is so tightly knit, to the overall experience, that feels a little... I don't like that.
Yeah, I was against the idea myself. And so were a lot of people, hence it, like, not going anywhere.
Here's one place where you could be a little bit sneaky.
I don't know how if you're sneaky if he's already shooting things at you.
Yeah, it didn't actually damage me, but the explosion just kind of... Oh, damn it. Didn't get anyone. At least I thought there was someone up there.
Sometimes you gotta hop on it a couple times to get it moving.
Kick it. Oh, how are you guys still alive? Like, hey! Moon!
In the name of the moon.
Oh, you little...
Making me waste my planets.
These things aren't cheap.
Seriously. These are whole planets.
So yeah, to sum up the game, it really is a combination of Quake and Heretic. I played a little bit of that earlier this week. It is interesting. Definitely a bit more like Dungeons and Dragons. You play as an elven wizard, so... Okay, this is the thing we unlocked. Though we don't really need it.
Yeah, notice you're not using the super mode very much.
Yeah.
What's that say? Feel where you should.
Well, you notice that it is a bit hidden.
Question is, what is he worried about?
Yeah, actually, that was me. Especially how this glistens and like pixels and everything.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is pixel art. I would, if you hadn't said something, I would never have guessed.
Yep.
Oh, this is atmospheric.
Yep. Yeah, kind of like Quake. It is also a bit of a tone piece. Since again, actual like narration is pretty light. And you definitely get a sense that that this was made by someone with an axe to grind against religion.
Whatever gave you that idea, buddy? Want to pay attention? Guess not.
Stealth attack.
Not your fault. He's not paying attention to what's going on. This is an environment where you wanna pay attention to what's going on around.
Yeah, it's not like this is dark, watery, and like menacing or anything like that. Yeah. What did that open? Okay.
I was gonna say that is a downside to the old school gaming experience. You hit the switch, it does not necessarily show you what it did.
Yeah, I mean, these levels are generally pretty elegantly designed. Like, yeah, I was a little lost, but I wasn't really lost for long.
Yeah, the second you turned around,
yeah,
you knew what it was.
it wasn't something like Final Doom's worst moments, where it's like you flip a switch and good luck. But it's
Magic missile at the darkness.
Yeah. But I must have. Yeah. It's interesting, what a little tweaking and a different coat of paint can do to change a game. Because this sword is effectively a shotgun.
Yeah.
Slower projectiles, but definitely similar.
Well, area effect.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's hitting multiple people at the same time, though.
It can. It's just in a frantic moment it could be, but you probably it's like the far edges can hit multiple targets.
Okay. I feel like I saw it go through people, but maybe that's just little scrubs.
Hey, take care of that guy. Thank you.
So is there a fourth mana type?
Yes.
I figured for the sake of symmetry there would be.
Yeah.
Just collect all the extra health.
Yep. You never know.
Hey, more health is always good.
Sword?
It's a good thing that the bits flying through the air can't hit you.
I kind of see. There isn't much of a mod.
This turning thing would be much more elegant if all the body parts weren't on top of it. Can you hit yourself with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So there we go. 2 in 1 go. Murdered the crap out of those guys.
I mean, that's the name of the game.
Yep. Murder.
Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Probably the greatest shit post in game film.
High effort shitpost. I don't know. You have to burn the rope is up there.
So what?
You have to burn the rope? No, the game. You have to burn the rope.
Oh, okay.
Have you not heard of this?
I've not heard of it.
Oh, this is old school shitposting.
Oh, okay.
It is a game that is maybe 12 seconds long. You have to burn the rope. That's it.
All right. There's definitely some troll.
Oh, absolutely.
Nature to that.
I don't think you could even lose.
They're so great.
So we've wandered.
So we've been cryptic, and now we just have that snotty teenage.
We wandered into the mean girls section of the church.
They have a list of boys. That.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Is that how you want to play it?
Planets of people. It's not as effective as it should be, I feel like.
Well, I found that explosives work best in video games. In video games, explosives work best when there's like a crowd of goons.
Yeah.
Playing Doom, like Final Doom and all that. I found it works best when there's way too many machine gun guys, so you launch and hide.
Yeah, I mean that's what AOE is typically for.
Yeah. Dynamite.
All enemies, sweet. So that's the boss.
Yep. The Luna Sanctuary.
Boss is just the moon.
Yeah.
Moon.
Okay, now there's a secret.
Piccolo on that. Oh, neat.
So, and we have this hidden little room, a bunch of stuff, and
all that was good is gone.
so yeah, in a very hidden part, maybe this is even a prison.
Yeah, it might be. Someone disillusioned.
Yeah, someone knew what was up. Seeing, it turned from maybe a standard church into,
Non-standard church.
a bunch of psychopaths. I say after I murder basically the entire cult, but anyway.
I mean, they started it. They had it coming.
Okay, so well,
next stop, kill the moon. The moon. Oh God, it's Sailor Moon. He's not a pretty guardian. He's gonna be even less pretty by the time. I mean, I could also, make a Moon Knight comparison because he does look like a knight, and yeah. Yeah, this seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's the first boss. The quality of boss
firing planets into his groin, and you're done. What does the soul power do with the planet launcher?
Actually, might as well demonstrate.
Oh Jesus! So suns.
Yep. This is just a big thing. And that just destroyed. That just wrecked shit. So,
I still feel like the axe thing. That's not how axes work.
No, but
that is not the cutting edge. I'm also wondering why they're bothering with health ups if this is the end of the chapter. Or do you not?
That's a fair question.
Is that a button?
Yeah, I think it brings up the. Yeah, oh. I'm not even sure why that's there. Anyway. So, that is the end of episode 1.
That's, it's interesting.
Yep.
It's pretty straightforward, old school.
Okay.
Huh.
Alright,
yep.
And we will... Well, I guess we might as well exit for the moment.
Alright, so we'll pick up next time. Where are we going next?
Yep.
Oh, what did she say?
Welcome back, champion.
Oh, that's nice.
And the scenery does change after, it's nighttime. So next time we are going
Man of the Sentinels. All right. Well, I've been Mike Curley.
And this is Frank Curley.
Good night.